One of the biggest concerns a landlord might have is, what if my tenant stops paying rent? My immediate advice to you would be, don't do anything irrational. From the very start of the tenancy, whether you're self-managing the property or if we're managing it on your behalf, start building a good relationship with your tenant from day one. Always keep the lines of communication open. That way your tenant will feel comfortable if they do have a financial problem and they are struggling to pay the rent. They'll feel comfortable calling and discussing that with you before the rent due date. That way we can put a payment plan in place. There's lots of things we can do to assist a tenant paying rent. We have a system in place where the tenant gets invoiced the day before the rent is due. They are clear how much they need to pay and when they need to pay it by. If the tenant doesn't pay the rent on the due date, we will follow that up with a text message or a WhatsApp message, just asking the tenant to pay the rent as soon as possible before they incur late fee charges. If it's a more serious matter and the tenant is not responding to polite texts or telephone calls, there are a sequence of formal rent arrears letters that need to be sent to the tenant. There are 3 letters in total. If you still have not had a response from the third and last letter, we would strongly advise, if you're managing the property yourself, that you serve notice to the tenant based on rent arrears. Unfortunately, nobody likes to do this, and it's not an ideal situation. However, as I say, keep the lines of communication open, and to avoid the eviction process, try and work with your tenant by putting a payment plan in place. If none of that is working for you or your tenant, unfortunately, notice should be served. If you need more information on the formal notice letters or the notice process itself, please feel free to contact me at parkviewproperty.co.uk.